So, I guess I've been philosophizing longer than I imagined I had, because I actually came up with the Tenets of Indoc, I want to say back in 2008. So, yeah, anyway. So, the first tenet of Indoc is pain, right? It's a suffering, it's something you gotta go through. It's like life, it's like birth, you know? It's a painful type of thing. You come from this nice, warm, happy place into the cold, dark, scary world. You left your nice, happy place of home where your parents loved you, and you're now in this horrible, scary, wet place where everybody around you seems to hate you. So, first thing you gotta figure out is that Indoc is pain. Alright? Secondly, pain is weakness. Right? That everybody knows, you know, pain's just weakness leaving the body, right? So, you gotta go through this pain. You have to get rid of this weakness. You have to be smiting, you know, smoted. How do you make a sword, you know, by heating really, really hot metal and then pounding it into what you want? Well, how do you get through a crucible, or what is a crucible? Indoc is a crucible. This is you're being melted down so we can reshape you into what we need you to be. So you're shedding your cone ways, you're evolving, you're adapting. I think being an Indoc or being a PJ period is kind of made me a believer in Darwinism and you know, adaptation or death. And so you guys need to learn to adapt, overcome, you know, kill every last mofo in the room. And you need to get rid of that weakness. You need to shed off, you know, whatever it is that you think you are, and become what you really are, you know, what you're going to be. And even when you become who you are, what you're supposed to be, you'll always be continuously learning and growing and, you know, shedding it, getting rid of weakness. So, which leads us to number 3, which is to eliminate pain, you must eliminate weakness. So what's pain? Pain is Indoc. What's weakness? Weakness is pain. So you gotta graduate Indoc to get through all these things, which leads to 4. To eliminate weakness, you must complete Indoc. So you can't be a PJ without going through Indoc. You have to get through that crucible. You have to make it through the flames. You have to make it through the fire. You have to come out a changed man, a different person, a better, stronger, you know. So while we're beating you down, I mean air quotes with that you couldn't see, so beating beating you down to make you something, you know, better. Well, here's a quick side note. When I was a student, my dad, and I graduated, my dad sent a letter to the instructors to thank them for making me a man, and they had a good laugh about that. And my dad is not the first person to send a letter. Other people have sent letters, and, you know, at the time I was embarrassed and I got my ass smoked for it, but it's okay. I mean, your family will recognize, you know, that you've signed up for something bigger and better. And, you know, maybe you were just a class clown, or maybe, you know, you were just, you know, whoever you were. Now you're something more. You're, you know, a pararescue trainee, and someday you're going to be a pararescueman. And I can't think of many things in life that might be better. So it's a good life. So there's nothing wrong with, you know, eliminating weakness and completing Indoc. I mean, that's whatever. It's easy. Oh, it's not easy, but it's easy in that that's what you need to do, you know. So you don't take no for an answer. You don't bow down. You don't submit. You don't take a knee. You don't stop. You don't stop swimming. You don't stop running. You don't stop moving. You don't stop climbing until you graduate Indoc. And then the 5th and glorious tenet, which I came up after a while with, is that Pain is temporary. Indoc is only 10 weeks. The pipeline is only 2 years. These courses they're a limited amount of time. But pararescue is forever. And that's the gospel. That's the truth. That's the golden answer. That's everything. Is that pararescue is forever. And that pride, that knowledge, that feeling beats everything else. You know? Sometimes I tell people, I said, Indoc is like a gateway drug, right? You got to do it so you can go on to the higher, harder drugs, you know, skydiving and scuba diving and rock climbing and having all, because they're adrenaline rushes. It's a rush, and you get kind of addicted to, you know, certain parts or certain aspects of, you know, pararescue. Shooting guns is fun. Hanging out with your friends is fun. Falling out of airplanes is fun. You know, yes, it's work, but if you love what you do, it's not really work. I think if you have a job and it's a job, you're like, oh, it's my job. That's not a job. That's not pararescue. I've never said, oh, I gotta go jump out of a plane. Oh, I gotta go deploy. No, I was like, man, I'm deploying. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm learning. I'm training. I'm getting better. I'm getting stronger. You know, learning new stuff. I'm jump mastering. I'm dive souping. You know, all that stuff. Hey, I learned this new search technique. Hey, I know how to shoot a gun better. Hey, I can do this. I can do that. You know, look at this guy training in the weather. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Because wherever he's going, that's where he's going, right? You know. His legs are going to take him there. His mind's going to take him there. And that's pararescue. You got to have a goal, and your goal is pararescue. It's not a beret. It's not a status. It's not. It's the fact that you get to do great things for people. I think that's the honor, the privilege, the possibilities to be a PJ lead you to go to be anything. You know, PJs gone on to be doctors. PJs have gone on to be PJs. You know, I'm happy being a PJ. There's not much more I want to do. You know, I mean, besides find, you know, inner peace and create world harmony. But you know, that's on a different level, and that's okay. But you know, I got a buddy saying about running for office. You know, I think that there was another PJ ran for office a year or two ago. I don't know if he won, but hey, what the hell? You know, if you want to do it, do it. And the mindset that pararescue will give you, and that basis, you know, because everything's a basis for something else. Everything else is a foundation. You can keep going. Just because you did this doesn't mean you have to stop. You don't ever have to stop. You could, as long as your mind and body will take you, that's all that matters. So, pain is temporary, but pararescue is forever. The golden, oh, you know, angels are singing and life is good, and that's the word I bring to you. You know, there once was a cone named Murphy. It was a good cone. It's very sad. We almost killed Murphy. He had some heart problems. Then he had some shoulder problems, and you know. But he went on to go do something else, and he's a good dude. And he's, you know, doing something else. But I used to tell him that he was the cone messiah because he'd been there for so long. You know, I said, and he really helped the teams. People graduated because he was still there, because he was able to tell the teams, you know, hey, no, this is not a good idea. Let's do this. Let's do that. And so he would teach them. And so I'm like, what are you, Murphy, the cone messiah or something? And kind of, in a way, I think there isn't a cone messiah. The cone messiah is in you. The answers are in you. You just have to unlock them. So everybody's their own cone messiah. You know, you want to believe in something? Believe in yourself. You believe in yourself, there's nothing you can't accomplish. And that's the message. And pararescue will teach you that. Pararescue will help you get there. So, you know, work hard, train hard, think smart, and just do it. So, yeah, There's a good reason. The American flag. Do it for America. Do it for the people you get to save and the people you'll get to help. Make the world a better place. Hoo-yah.